and this is Garbage Horror Haunt Review Series 2015. Oh, it is so good to be back, is it not?
It is. It's a wonderful season.
It is the most wonderful time of the copyright infringing music. So, yes, we are just back from our first haunt visit of the season.
Yes.
And as is typical, it was the Mortuary Haunted House.
And it's typical because they're the earliest to open.
They open typically about 2 weeks before the other haunts do. In fact,
Yeah.
I think House of Shock and Chamber of Horrors, the other two local haunts, open first weekend of October. So
Right.
we kind of got a clear schedule next weekend, just saying.
Not really. We got stuff to do here.
You know, we are, of course, recording live in the under construction Bernie Baxter's Haunted House. We'll be rotating this as we finish things and have to move to new scenes.
Yes.
So we just got back from the mortuary, where it was, we went on a Saturday.
Right.
But we got the special discount tickets, so our tickets were $15 each. And also, if you are interested in a discount ticket, hopefully we'll have this up in time. But next Friday, the Friday open in September, will also be a discount night. There's a code. Look it up on the site. I'm not going to give you all the details. You've got to do some work.
Yes.
But okay, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Yeah, please. I was going to say, what did you think of the mortuary this year?
Well, first, this is the blood drive T-shirt. Really quick.
Yeah. Okay.
You know. Ellie got in for free for donating blood. Go Ellie.
Ellie's awesome.
Yes.
You were rejected, and they did everything they could to make me mad.
Yeah, and we'll just leave it there and go into the actual haunt.
Yes, I've said too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, the theme for the mortuary this year was the 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
And name the 7 deadly sins, Crystal.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, no, screw you.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I know the one we forgot earlier is Wrath.
Yeah, we forgot Wrath. We've been doing this all evening. It's kind of become a joke.
Yeah.
And the reason we've been doing it all evening is, honestly, I didn't feel the tie-in.
No, because I got to thinking about it, and it's like, well, which ones were actually represented? There was definitely lust.
Oh, there was definitely some lust going on.
There was gluttony. We saw gluttony.
We saw gluttony, yeah. Gluttony.
And there were others that might have been this one or that one.
There was a lot of wrath going down, too. But
yeah, but it wasn't clear which was supposed to be which, or if they were even all represented.
Yeah, I really don't understand. I understand the idea was they had 7 serial killers. I can only realistically, as I leave the haunt, distinctly remember like 3, maybe 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, and one of the problems I think I had this year was they really did do a decent job with ambiance, so to speak. And as we talked about in our previous reviews, the mortuary has like the cheat code on ambiance.
Yes.
They are in an actual haunted mortuary. It's like, job done. Don't know, no screws needed. You're not like, we don't have to build stuff like we do.
Yeah.
You've got your ambiance. But yeah, they did a lot. There was a lot of new props this year.
Yes.
A lot of new things to look at. But they seemed short on actors to me.
They did. They seemed really short. And it was very empty.
And it was really frustrating because the actors they did have, it seemed like they used poorly.
Yeah, there were only 2 that were memorable. Technically 3, but Ravencroft, I don't know if I really count him because he's there every year and he's kind of the host.
Yeah. And
he is a great actor at what he does.
He's amazing at what he does.
But I think of him as an addition to the haunt, not as a haunt character.
I can understand that. And one of the things that we sort of ran into, almost literally, when we were going into the haunt, was other customers running out the entrance.
Yes.
They got in like 5, 10, 15 feet or whatever and just right out the entrance. And we heard the people outside the front of house team commenting that was becoming a recurring problem and they were worried about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's because that first room is really front loaded.
Well, and here's the thing. Used to, when you would go in the mortuary, you would go in the front door. Now you're going in a side door. It's a nice little change up. But in that first room, there is now a scare. It's not, you go and you stand and you look around and then you go up the stairs and there's no real scares until you get upstairs. Yeah. And then, it's do I run back downstairs or do I go forward? And most people are going to go forward.
Yeah, those stairs are pretty scary without any help.
I think that's a mental barrier is once you get up those stairs, you're not coming back down.
You're committed at that point.
Yeah, and I think that's the main problem this year with that.
Yeah, it seemed like they scare too hard too early. and it was causing a problem. We nearly got plowed in by two girls bolting out right in front of us. So, and it used to be, like I said, in the mortuary, that first area, the sort of the foyer area, was Ravencroft just sort of telling you a story and jumping around and being entertaining as all hell.
Yes,
but not
setting
scared.
The atmosphere and
setting sort of a tone.
You know, you see all the cool stuff in his like
a little study or library or whatever he's got going that year, and it was really cool. It was a really slick, got you in the spirit of things, and then upstairs, and then boom, they start nailing you. This year they started attacking really early.
Yeah.
And this year, am I the only one that thinks it was way more adult this year?
It was.
It really, really was. Because one of the things about the mortuary we've said in previous years is this is the haunt that you can, this is sort of the mainstream major haunt you take a family to. There were a lot of fake boobies this year.
Yes.
A lot of fake boobies. Not real boobies, dummy boobies, but boobies.
Yes.
Lots of boobies.
Yes.
And the gore themes and so forth were much more disturbing than in previous years, where it was a lot more generic stuff. This year they really seemed to target with the props especially.
Yeah.
A lot more disturbing imagery. And I don't know, it's not the House of Shock with the devil worshipping themes and all that, but it felt significantly more adult. And I saw a lot of kids in line.
Yeah.
And some of them saw us.
Yes, yes.
Hi
guys. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet the fan.
Yes.
Fans, plural. I think there's more than
there
one.
Were two.
Okay, there were two. Okay.
There was one really excited.
There was one. Okay. And there was one who was like, "Oh yeah, those idiots." That's fine too. I am perfectly fine accepting that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt way more adult this year, and I still, like I said, we've been struggling this whole evening trying to figure out how on earth the 7 deadly sins connected back to what we saw. So go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, why don't we just take that out of it?
Yeah.
Because they didn't bother putting it in. Why should we?
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, just forget about the story, the theme, and all that. Just forget about it going in. And look at that. It felt significantly new.
Yes.
There was a lot of new stuff. Some of the stuff down in the basement is the same, but that's because that stuff almost is evergreen and it never really changes. I don't think that's changed in a long time.
It changes spots, but
yeah, the significant change doesn't come in that area. But a lot of the rest of the haunt felt very new. Now that being said, there was the classic mortuary issue of people getting lost and completely unsure where to go.
Yeah, and I mean it was nice for probably 2/3 of it.
Yeah,
we were by ourselves, our little trio going through, ha ha ha, interacting with characters more often than not, which was nice change of pace.
Yeah,
and then we caught up. A group called up to us.
Yeah, at the same time we called up to
And then at the same time we called up to someone else who didn't know where to go.
But to be fair, that was toward the end. But there were several spots where actors had to break character or say, no, go that way.
Yeah.
Because it's this weird hairpin turn around a fence that I couldn't see the exit clearly.
Or you start following somebody and they go around this way, so you think, okay, well, I'm still following.
And
it doesn't work that way.
And as Ellie pointed out, the issue of they had the plastic, the block plastic, like you see like walk-in freezers and so forth, and in some places you go through it to the next room, and some places it hides an actor area, making it very easy to accidentally walk into actor areas.
Right.
So that was a little frustrating, and that's a common problem in the mortuary. We've mentioned that previously, and I think a lot of that is because it's a haunted mortuary. They have a lot of codes, what they can and can't modify. So they're kind of limited, but some of the wounds were self-inflicted too.
Yeah, some of it,
So I mean,
there was a lot of it that just wasn't scary.
Yeah, and that's because I think they did have a shortage of actors, and there were a lot of rooms that just had nothing but animatronics and things going off.
Right.
A lot of audio jump scares too. A lot of hidden speaker gags this year.
Like I said, there were 2 standout characters that I interacted with, and the rest of it was just kind of bleh.
Yeah, I mean, it really felt as if they were understaffed and as if maybe they didn't have their best foot forward. And there were some characters that clearly did not belong in the roles they were in.
Right, and it might be better by the end of season.
Yep.
I mean, this is the second night they're open, so keep that in mind with this.
We do admit that, as usual, these reviews early in season are somewhat unfair.
Right.
But because the ideal time is more mid-season typically. You don't want to catch them at the end of season either.
No.
Mid-season's a little more fair.
Yeah, because then they're still excited and they're not worn out from being there.
Yeah, and that's when they should have everything nailed down.
Yeah.
So some unfairness in this review, we admit that. But yeah, it felt like they were just a little understaffed, and some of the people were forced into roles that were not fitting to their personality.
Right.
Some people were being asked to scream and do jump startles that clearly did not have the voice. They could have done great in like creepy roles.
Right.
But they didn't do well with the jump startle roles. People interacting with the crowd who obviously weren't comfortable with it. Things like that.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I thought it was a pretty solid haunt. Definitely worth the $15, no question there. And
yeah.
I feel pretty good at it for $25. We spent about 20-ish minutes in there. It was a little bit over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a solid haunt overall. But the thing about it with the mortuary is that we had a period there where it kept getting better and better and better and better and better and better. And now it seems like they keep changing so much.
Right. And one of the things, that we mentioned in last year's review was how they had built on the story from the year before and tied it in. That's completely
It's gone. Yeah, they mentioned there's like
hoping.
a one-word mention of Ravencroft in the stories. Or, oh yeah, these serial killers have some connection with them. We don't know. I'm like, oh, we just totally threw the whole overarching plot away. And realistically, Ravencroft himself didn't play much of a role in it. So it was an interesting thing. It's lost, but I still think the mortuary is well worth a visit personally.
Yes, and it is also a safe haunt.
Yes, that was one thing we wanted to make a special mention to talk about.
Yes.
Completely safe. They do not scare anywhere near the staircases. There are several staircases. And everything did feel very safe. It is important because, like we went to haunts last year, like the psychopath and the terror test, that had obvious safety issues. They do not.
Yes, they are not.
So
there's a reason they're not on our list to visit this year.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things we're going to try to do with this year's haunt reviews is focus in on safety. It's something we're going to at least touch on.
Yeah.
Because we only touched on it when it went really bad last year, but we want to compliment the good players.
Yeah.
Mortuary is a good player in this area.
Yes.
Well, that's about all the thoughts I have on it. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah.
I still don't know what all the 7 deadly sins are off the top of my head.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right. Well, now, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this has been Garbage Horror Haunt Review for the Mortuary Haunted House. No, I screwed it up.
Yes.
The Mortuary Haunted House 2015 season. We will see you guys with our next review.